Go. Cross sections. Hey, if you keep talking, you're gonna go hang out in the hall. We're doing cross sections. A cross section is the intersection of a solid and a plane. Okay, so for instance, imagine this is full of material. This is a solid thing. None of you should have iPads out right now. Paper notes. Everyone's got paper notes.
Never mind.
Get your notes out. Put that away. Okay, so pretend that this is full of whatever material the outside of this is made of, right? It is filled up. And then I take a piece of paper or some form of a plane. We'll do paper. Okay, and I take this plane and I slice it perfectly through my figure, right? Slice it through. Okay? If I do that, what?
Like what the drawings are?
Yeah, so the plane is going through the solid, right? Here's your solid, here's your plane, slice it straight through. Okay, if that happened in this figure, this is a square pyramid, right? If I went through this way, where would this intersect with this? What shape?
Put it at.
Wait, what do you mean?
If I slice through, it would be a square if I went through this way,
It's gonna be a
right?
Oh.
Whatever shape your base is, if you go through horizontally, it would be that.
If it went through vertically, it'd be a triangle.
If you went through vertically, it would be a triangle.
Wait, how come? Wait, so when you go through the middle like this, how come it's not a triangle and a square?
Is this like the whole
It's a
lesson?
pyramid.
'Cause that's easy.
I'm saying what is touching about this paper and this solid? What is the same about them, right? This is two-dimensional. This is flat. So if I put a plane, a piece of paper through that pyramid, the only overlap of it is that square right there, right? We're not including this top part. We're not including anything from the bottom. It's just if I slice it, think of it like this. If I took a saw and I sliced this and I just showed you the bottom of that, you would see a square.
I know what
But
right?
if you cut it in half vertically, it would be a.
If you went
it'd be a
vertically, it would be a triangle. If I went like this and I opened it up, you would see a triangle. You'd see this shape right here.
So you're putting it from like three-dimensional
To two-dimensional. You're taking a three-dimensional
What's the fourth
thing
dimension like?
and a
I've
two-dimensional
always
thing.
wondered that.
No idea.
I feel like
Okay,
it's like-
now look at this one.
It's like the fourth dimension.
LOL.
This is a triangular prism, right? It's got two bases, so it's a prism, but it's triangle bases, okay? If I take a plane and I go through like this,
Triangle.
it would be a triangle, right? It would be this shape. Wherever I cut through, it would be that triangle. So this one, they put it through vertically because it was sitting on its side, and it was a triangle. Okay, this one's a little tougher to think through now. What if I take a piece of paper and I go like this through this figure?
Wouldn't it be
And I
It's gonna be a smaller triangle.
It's not a triangle.
square?
It's not a square. It's a rectangle, right? If I took a saw and I sliced it and I opened it up, you're essentially seeing this in a smaller version, right? So if I went this on this edge, this front edge, it'd be a big rectangle. What if I went way toward the back?
It'll
Of
be
this.
a little one.
It'll be a teeny little rectangle, a narrow little rectangle, okay? So those are cross sections. That's what you're gonna have to be doing with these. So I'm gonna do 3 with you. If I went vertically, okay, so I put my piece of paper vertically through this.
Rectangle.
It would be a rectangle, okay? If I went perfectly through the middle vertically and opened it up, you'd see the biggest rectangle possible. But if I went closer to the front, right, then you'd see a skinnier rectangle, okay? So if you go through vertically, you would get a rectangle.
I like definitely this level equation.
That's this, right? This is the shape you would see if you went through vertically in a cylinder,
Easy.
okay? If you went through horizontally in a cylinder, it would be a circle. It's the shape of your base then, right? So if you went through horizontally, it would be this shape, a circle. Okay, or if you went through down lower, you could get a circle here.
Would the vertical for the next one also be a square?
For, are you looking at B or C?
C.
The cone?
No, C.
Okay, well, let's go to the cone because that's the one I have out, and then I'll go to the other one.
Okay.
For a cone, okay, here's your cone. If you took a saw and you cut it
Triangle.
vertically, and then you opened it up and you looked at what shape is there,
Triangle.
it would be what? A triangle. This is your shape, right? If you went through vertically, you would get a triangle. If you cut through horizontally, you would get what?
Circle.
A circle. Horizontally would be a circle.
Have you heard that shape song?
Huh? All right, now this one is as close as I can get. I don't have a pentagonal prism in here, but I do have a hexagonal prism.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so looking at this figure,
My mom told me to stop.
if you cut through vertically in this figure, you would get what?
Rectangle.
A rectangle.
Yes.
You would get from here to here to here to here, right? If you go vertically through, you would get a rectangle.
Pentagon.
It's a pentagon.
If you went through the other way, it would be the shape of the base, which in this case is a pentagon.
I know that from ceramics.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't. I've been starting that project because I don't want.
Any questions on that?
It's gonna be better than Luke's pentagon.
I think I'm done with ceramics. Like I'm just gonna stop trying for the rest of the year.
Don't do that. Okay, number 5. Now you're gonna draw them yourself. Okay, so the first ones, it was like, tell me the shape, identify, right? Now you're gonna draw it. And when you have to draw a cross section, typically you're looking for a place that you can draw parallel lines. And then once you draw your parallel lines, if you connect the endpoints and shade, you'll get your shape, okay? So take a look at this. Keywords. We have a vertical plane. Which way is vertical?
Up and down.
Up and down. A vertical plane intersecting the right and left faces of the cube. Okay, so you want to go vertically
Square.
through the right and left faces. So here's what that means. You have to draw a vertical line through the left face, so top to bottom of the left face. A vertical line top to bottom through the right face, okay? That gives us our parallel lines, and then you just connect. Connect these, and shade.
Dang it, guys.
Okay, so a vertical plane cutting through. You want parallel lines through the pieces they said, and then connect and shade.
I was a little dumb,
Okay.
and I just put a line through the middle. Like I just went.
Yeah,
That doesn't work.
that doesn't work. I want to see the plane.
That's so difficult.
Okay, do you want to try this one? This one is a plane intersecting the top and the front faces of the cube. So here's what I need you to think about. This one did not say it has to be vertical or horizontal. You can draw it however you need to draw it. But if you have to go through the top face and the front face, think about if I need to draw parallel lines, what direction would those parallel lines go?
Up and down. No, side to side.
Left to right. Yeah, you want to go side to side. So through the top,
Maybe right to left.
right to left is fine too.
Oh my gosh. How did I get this wrong again?
Okay, through the top and through the front. We want them to be parallel to each other.
What?
If you tried to go vertically,
This is like so hard to
you could do it. Okay, I'll show you.
Oh,
I'll
it's
show
like
you
a
in a minute.
vertical- It's a vertical.
Oh, I see.
This
It
is
goes
like-
at an
It's like
angle.
oh yeah.
Right. Here's your figure, right? It's cutting through. So if this is your front and your top, it's cutting through like this, and it's going to come through. So it cuts through on an angle, right? Kind of like this. So here's how you would do it. Draw this in, and then shade. Okay, that would go through the top and the front faces. But here's the thing, that's not your only answer. All it says is you have to go a plane through the top and the front faces. So you could do, I'm going to erase this. You don't need to erase. You could have, maybe you were. If I go through the front and the top, I could do something like that, right? Because a plane keeps going. So through the top and the front, that would work. Is that what you did, Truett?
Yeah, that is actually what I did.
That would work.
Wasn't correct.
Because you
No,
do have to go
you
through the
saw it.
top and through the front, okay? So you have multiple options for how to make it happen. That's up to you. Questions on that?